but I can look you students in the eye and tell you firsthand that this college prepared me very well for my successful career in business. On behalf of the Alumni Association Board of Directors and the more than 32,000 Keene State College alumni, welcome. Keene State College will be your home for the next 4 years, as it was for all the alumni now distributed throughout New England, across the country, and around the globe. As we who have gone before you have discovered, this is a wonderful place to learn your discipline, to discover your passions, develop new skills, broaden your horizons, and to prepare you for the future. It is also a place to make lifelong friends and where you will meet professors who will inspire you. Our advice to you is to take advantage of all there is to offer in academics, extracurricular activities, clubs, and community service, and come back after graduation and give back of your time and talents as alumni have before you. I offer to you the following personal advice. Stay on track. As already mentioned, the next 4 years will go by quicker than you can ever imagine. Learn how to network. Professors, support staff, administrators, and alumni are here to help you succeed. Reach out to them. Best of luck to you all. It is now my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you a professor who has gained a new title. Each year, the Keene State College Alumni Association solicits nominations for the Distinguished Teacher of the Year Award. This year's recipient, Patrick Dolence, is a highly regarded professor of economics. The letters of support for Dr. Dolence are rich with praise and commendation. His nomination package contained letters of support from colleagues, alumni, and current students. They include superlatives regarding the campus-wide leadership, phenomenal teaching style, mentorship, generosity of time, and scholarship. Here are a few quotes from these submitted materials from colleagues. Keene State College faculty, staff, and students gain not only from his expertise in teaching economics, but also through his ability to draw in constituencies from all corners of the campus to address educational issues strategically and successfully, and to develop cutting-edge programs. Another colleague writes, he understands that synthesizing history, research, and theory across disciplines is necessary to develop inclusive paradigms in order to comprehend our complex, interconnected world. Pat strives to pass the interwoven philosophy and understanding to his students. And from another colleague, I have known many students who have had the opportunity to work with Dr. Dolence. In conversations with students, they explain how they are inspired by him, how they effortlessly develop critical thinking, skills by wrestling with complex economic and societal changes with him. Patrick is an energetic and wise educator. And from students, his intellectual capacity and knowledge combined with his never-ending enthusiasm for economics, political science, and higher learning as a whole altered my life set and there of other students as well. He is a teacher first, an economist second. Professor Dolence is as rare as they come. I am grateful to have been taught by him. Another student writes, his ability to take real-world examples and directly correlate them to materials is tremendous. From a student who did not have him as a professor, but who Dr. Dolence made a connection, he writes, Patrick legitimately acted as he had a stake in whether or not I understood what he was telling me. He deeply cared that I learned. He actually meant something to me. He was in this for me. For the hour-and-a-half conversation, we were writing that article together. To me, that is a mark of a distinguished professor. That is a mark of a professor who is in the game for all the right reasons. From alumni, Pat's desire and ability to crisscross his research, service, and teaching through other disciplines, environmental studies, history, and political science, illustrates flexibility and desire for knowledge that I can only hope to one day achieve. For another alumnus, Patrick has worked for decades to better himself and the college community in the most respectable ways imaginable. It was a privilege to experience the results of his efforts. If I could have Patrick come forward, please. Patrick Dollins, Professor of Economics at Keene State College. On behalf of the 32,000 alumni at Keene State College, it is an honor and a privilege for me to award the 2013 Distinguished Teacher Award for Excellence in Teaching to you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is an amazing honor, and I feel really privileged to be celebrating this here with you today. And to start with my remarks, I'd like to recognize and have stand past recipients of this award who are with us today. And I feel particularly fortunate because I know in this audience and among colleagues who are not here today that there are many that are as qualified or more qualified than I am. So it's a special treat. I say that because I see an opportunity for all of you who are starting your academic career to learn with these wonderful colleagues, remarkable scholars and teachers. And I say learn with intentionally because in my experience, learning is most magical when it's a collaborative effort. Indeed, much of what we do is collaborative. And I want to take this opportunity, before we get to the polar bear, to thank my family that's here and family that's not here, colleagues and friends who've been wonderful teachers and mentors, and others who are not here that have helped shape me and helped me get to where I am today. Like probably just about everybody in this room, I recognize that I didn't get here alone, and that I've relied on the support and the nourishment as I've grown and developed. So what's with the polar bear up there? The cynics among you may say he's tormenting us because it's a little warm in this room. You said 100 degrees, Eric. I think your thermometer might be broken. It feels a lot hotter than that. But that's not my intent at all. If you were more cynical, you might say it's the vanishing iceberg that he's after. Because, as most of us would agree, reckless human behavior is responsible for what's happening to our climate. But that's not it either. In fact, what I'm hoping to do is to contrast the polar bear with a different creature. I thought those were college students fresh out of bed, but my children tell me those are rockhopper penguins. And as soon as I contrast the polar bear with the penguins, I think you'll see where I'm going. Polar bears are solitary creatures, and they spend most of their lives in isolation, coming together with other polar bears only temporarily and for short periods of time. But penguins derive a good part of their identity as social creatures, as members of social units. So I'd like you to take a moment and tell me which of those two extremes this third animal belongs. I'm pretty sure that's a sophomore on his way to class. He's got his writing implement, as you can see, though he's a little underdressed. But I'll give you another example if you're not sure the organism I'm talking about. Definitely not the dining commons, but something similar. Where does Homo sapiens fit? Where do we belong? Are we polar bears by nature, living solitary lives in isolation? Or are we more like the rockhopper penguins? And I would suggest that it doesn't take much effort to get you to agree with me that we are in fact social creatures. In fact, from the moment that you arrived on campus, perhaps yesterday to move into the residence halls, continuing through this morning as you walked through the arch and were greeted by members of the campus community, you've become a member of Keene State. You're part of this community now, and this community has a stake in your success and in your prospering and developing. So what? What does that mean? There's the arch. Do you recognize it? It hasn't been that long since you went through it. But I wonder if you took the time to read what was carved to the left and to the right. So one member of the platform party has already spoken about this. But if you haven't seen it yet, on the left it says enter to learn. And that's what you did today. You've embarked upon the beginning of an academic career that hopefully will produce positive surprises as well as a few disappointments and frustrations and lead you to the place where you think you belong. But that's only half of what the arch says. To the right, the arch has a carving that says, go forth to serve. Because it is our hope, our wish, our deep desire that when you're done at Keene State College, your life will take you to places where you can contribute in meaningful ways, where you can be effective and active members and citizens of the communities that you belong to. Now, that doesn't happen magically or overnight, and so I promise not to cover everything that's up there. There are models in place. There are ideas and frameworks that help us make sense of that journey. Some of you have already served in communities, and you will build upon the skills that you have, the knowledge that you have, and presumably become more effective at doing future service. Others, this may be a new concept, but that's part of what college is about. In fact, I believe, and I think others, many, many others in this room believe, that Keene State is particularly well situated to help you with that task. Because Keene State prides itself as a public liberal arts college. And as I was wandering around the internet trying to find a clever and concise way to think about public liberal arts, I found this quote. Quote, the value of an education in a liberal arts college is not the learning of many facts, but the training of the mind to think something that cannot be learned from textbooks. Now, let's be clear. I'm not encouraging you to take your textbooks back to the bookstore. They're already mad at me because I miss deadlines on a regular basis. But indeed, a liberal arts education is about integrating skills and content and experiences inside the classroom with experiences outside of the classroom, and doing all of that to become more effective in a variety of ways, not just to prepare yourself for good jobs, which we absolutely hope we're doing, but also to prepare you to become the active citizens that are on the far left of the continuum that's up there. So who said that? Where did that quote come from? Some obscure scientist you've probably never heard of. Albert Einstein. If it's good enough for Albert Einstein, liberal arts is, I think, good enough for Keene State as well. So, I was told that if I talked for more than 10 minutes, bad things would happen to me, or my children would disappear and I would never hear from them again. It's tempting, but I think I'll get us out of here. I want to leave you with a question and an invitation. And so the question for you is, what do we owe each other? Right now you're thinking he owes us the opportunity to get out of this room. So would he please sit down and shut up? But I'm looking for something deeper here. As members of communities, what does it mean to have obligations and responsibilities to one another? And I would suggest to you this is not an easy question to answer. You can spend your entire college career grappling with it, and you'll still probably have some unanswered questions at the end. Indeed, I think if you look to Washington, our elected representatives are not doing very well grappling with this question in their roles. But nonetheless, what do we owe each other? I think it's a question that will serve you well because the answers that you come up with for yourself will help guide you as you become active citizens. My dear friend Wes Martin regularly reminds me every time this question comes up in our conversations. I know, if we have this conversation repeatedly, we probably need to get real lives. Wes reminds me regularly there's another question that's not up there. What do we owe ourselves? And that's a question that I would encourage you to grapple with as well. Because just like the flight attendant on the airline, if you don't get your oxygen mask well situated and take care of your needs, you'll be far less effective in fulfilling your obligations and responsibilities to others. And then finally, the invitation. You are all uniquely situated to take advantage of an opportunity this year. Every 2 years, Keene State College embarks upon a symposium focusing on a particular theme. This year, our theme is finding your place in the evolving commons. We think that that has a role in every course, in the residence halls, in your lives in countless ways. And to prove what we're talking about, faculty and staff from all across campus will be working all year long, particularly hard the first week in November, to bring different concrete opportunities and different specific ways for you to think about what your role is in an evolving commons, what an evolving commons looks like. What are the implications for being members of a community that share resources, that share cultural, physical, educational resources? And so as you participate in the symposium and symposium-threaded events this year, hopefully you'll get some insight in terms of what do we owe each other. Once again, thank you for this wonderful award, and good luck this year.
Thank you, Patrick. New students, I congratulate you on being accepted to Keene State College. You've entered to learn. The door to your future is open to the possibilities of your talents, your energies, and your commitment to yourselves and to the other members of this college. Welcome to Keene State. Now we would like to formally receive the first year and transfer classes of entering students. Student Body President Eric Grady will come forward to be presented with the Book of Names. These are the names of all of our entering first year and transfer students. And Eric will be welcoming you and officially with Dr. Dolence welcoming you to our community.
You are joining today in a diverse and distinguished student body. You will be taught and cared for, as we have been, by an outstanding faculty and staff. It is my privilege now to entrust with you and your care for the duration of their stay here at Keene State. To do so, I will present these pages from the class book to you. I ask the student body to please stand for this presentation. On behalf of the current students at Keene State College, I am pleased to present to you the entering class of 2017. May you require them the same high standards of performance that you have already asked of us.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. May I ask the faculty and staff assembled here to stand and turn facing the students? On behalf of the teaching faculty and the staff of Keene State College, I'm delighted to accept the entering class of 2017 into this academic community. We pledge to you our time, our scholarship, our example, and our enthusiasm for learning. In return, we expect from you your curiosity and openness to what is new and unfamiliar, your commitment of time and energy, and your civility and respect for every member of this college and the surrounding community. Let me ask the faculty and staff now to welcome our new students with a round of applause.
Okay, hopefully you're all still awake. Will the student with the blue dot on the back page of the program please come forward? Blue dot. Woohoo! almost done. Thank you all for participating in today's event. Entering students, you have asked to join our community. We have selected you because of your outstanding accomplishments and your bright promise. Seize this moment and carve your path forward for a successful collegiate experience. By enrolling at Keene State College, you have committed to the values that we hold as a public liberal arts college. The primary values that define our community: excellence in teaching, learning, and scholarship. By joining us today, you are committing yourself to those values. In addition, as a public institution of higher education, we fundamentally believe, as you've heard today, that we have all been called to serve our community and our state. This responsibility for service now includes you. As we all honor your commitment to pursue higher education, and as you join our community, your primary responsibilities are to strive for excellence in everything that you do and to act with integrity. You have access to some of the very finest faculty at any college or university in the country. You have a dedicated and caring staff who will be here sharing the commitment to support your success, and you will live, study, and engage academically in outstanding state-of-the-art teaching and learning spaces. As a public liberal arts college, we will provide you with a wide array of opportunities for you to develop your talents, to guide your decisions, and to help you prepare for your futures. In our diverse global society, where the career and life opportunities that will be available to each of you in the next 4 years do not exist today in many cases, your choice to attend Keene State College with a distinguished history of academic challenge and engagement is an excellent launching off point for your future.